Doug Thompson. We're here in the shop today, and previously we built a tabletop for a firkin or a barrel, and it was a round top. We used the roll, the big power roll, to do the rolling of the circle for this element, and then we used the horizontal hydraulic bender to bend some of the vertical elements that held it all together. We got a request from one of our viewers that asked, how could you do this if you didn't have all this power equipment? So I'm going to use the Hossfeld today to kind of replicate the moves that we did on that previous video, and we'll put a link to that video in the description here. The previous project had a circle that was about 22 inches in diameter, so I'm just going to lay out with the compass here about 11 inches. We'll call that good. Okay. So that's what we're going to aim for. In bending this, I'll just demonstrate my method of trying to get a linear curve with the Hossfeld. So on the same template, I'm just going to draw by hand the stay element. It kind of curved like this, and then it went straight down about like that. First thing I'm going to do is lay out a series of 1.5 inch marks. I want equally spaced marks. And I'm going to attempt to bend very precisely at each point, just enough so we can bend the material but not kink it. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to describe this little stop. So this is a piece of 1/2-13 all thread going through a piece of tubing, a nut on either side, and a nut at the bottom. This is going to control the degree of bend very precisely. I'm going to mark the center line. So that's where we want the bend to take place. So I put that line on there so I can see it a little bit easier. So I want to match each time the mark on the bar to the mark on the tooling. And then I'm going to go ahead and bend it. So I'm going to pull on that a little bit. And that's about it. And I'm going to set up my stop to that point. I want the stop to be perpendicular more or less to this edge of the Hossfeld swing frame. So I'm going to back that off a little bit. I'm going to do my little test, and I'm going to get a little bit of a bend going. I'm going to pull on that a little bit, and I'm going to say, okay, that's about as much as I want to go each time. So I'll thread that on. Okay, now I can free that up a little bit. This is the way that I've found is the most accurate way to bend a circle when you're trying to do it by hand. So this controls the degree of bend. And if it's not enough, then we'll change it. But I'm going to just go through each mark, and I'm going to bend to that line. I don't think that's enough. I'm going to back it up a little bit, not a whole lot. And I'll keep adjusting that until I'm satisfied with the degree of bend. Okay. I'm just moving along the part now. So I'm advancing each time very precisely to my mark, so I have the same degree of bend at in equal intervals. You can see that thing's starting to take shape. And what I'm looking for is a smooth curve. We can tell with hot rolled material when the scale starts to break. Usually it'll break near where the interior portion of the bend. That scale will start to pop off. Now the next step, I'm going to go ahead and bend in between the lines. I don't want to bend in the same point at any cycle. So I'm going to eyeball and say, okay, I think I'm going to have to go to that one. So I'm at center of the marks, make a bend. Now right away I can tell that I'm going to have to adjust my stop. So I'm going to add another 1/4 of an inch. So I'll spin the nut forward. There's a 1/4 of an inch there. I'll pull it back. I'll lock it up. Okay, we'll try it again. First one. Okay, I've got a bend happening. I'm satisfied with that. So I'm just going to go ahead and go between the marks. Between the marks. Between the marks. Obviously, this is it's not nearly as efficient as using a roll, but you can do it. So I've put more of a bend into this piece. Now I've been adjusting this. I think I'm gonna have to adjust on the next run. I'm gonna adjust about 3/8 of an inch. That's my space. Pull it back, tighten it up. This is just something that has to be discovered. If you overbend at a specific location, you got a kink, merely turn the bar over, lock it in place, and by eyeball, just pull on it a little bit until you take the bend out. Okay? So now on this one, believe it or not, I'm going to aim for about the 1/4 point on my marks. I'm going to go to what I call the 25% mark, about 1/4 of an inch in there. I don't want to bend in the same place. And the more you do this, the more you'll learn about the material and everything like that. I'm going to go here to the last one. I think I got 2 more. Okay. So now I still got a smooth curve, and I'm gaining on it. So I'm going to have to adjust my stop to the next position to give myself more swing on the bender. So I'm going to go ahead and readjust my stop. First bend was on the line. Next bend was in the middle. Third bend was in this region here. Next bend is going to be in the region here, just in front of the mark. So I've essentially have 4 locations, and then I'll just repeat that cycle if I've got to have a 5th or a 6th cycle. I'm going to start about there, and I'll put a bend in. What I think, okay, I'm going to hold that, I'm going to hold tension on the Hossfeld, and then I'm going to touch off. I'm holding tension on the Hossfeld. I'm going to advance my stop and say, okay, that's where I want to be. I'll release pressure. I'll set the nuts without moving it, we hope. I'll set the back nut so I'm safe. I'll set the front nut. And again, I want the stop to hit the bender as close to a perpendicular relationship as I can get. So there's our 5th cycle. What we're trying to do is control the movements to make the Hossfeld act like a very precise machine by controlling our interval of bend and our degree of bend. Sometimes the piece becomes unwieldy, and what I'll do is I'll flip my marks around to the other side because I can't hold it because it gets to be curved and it's just awkward to hold. So on that last 2, I know where I'm at, and I'm going to bend and bend. So now we still have a smooth curve, and we're beginning to approach our template. At this point, I'm going to look to see where are we departing from our template, and it's right about there. So we may have to put a little tiny bend right there to swing all that over. We're going to creep up on it. I'm pretty happy with the back half of this, but let's go ahead and adjust at this point. And I'm going to, at this point, number these things 1, 2, 3, 7, on and on. But I can tell that we're going to have to put a little bit of a bend at 6, not much. So I'm going to move the stop out of the way just a little bit, and I'm going to put a little bend in it. Just pulling on it. And we're pretty close. All the way along there. So that's my method of making what I would call a linear curve. Now we'll do a nonlinear bend. We have the stays on this project. And I've just made a little template here. So we'll take another piece of material. And I'm going to just hand bend this. I've done this a fair amount. Bending, I'm just going to put a series of bends in this. Notice my body position. I basically have a straight arm here, and I'm pulling backward with my back and my legs. And I can quickly, as I'm doing this, I can kind of look over at my template and say, okay, I've still got to go more. So I'm just bending and advancing about 1/2 inch each time. going to go ahead and keep on it going. I'm going to check to see, getting pretty close. Let me go ahead and put some marks on this. A, B, C, D, nominally equally spaced. F, G. So I'm going to look over at my template. I might mark on my template, this is where A starts, just so I can kind of put it in the same place each time. And I look and I can see I've got a bend between C and D. Again, C and D, I think that's where we're at. We'll come back to here. We'll put our template to A. I'm gonna have to shift a little bit. I've got to deepen the bend at D, put a little bit more in just right at D. So I'm gonna do that. Bring it back at A. Okay, I think I'm there. In other words, I've got just a smooth, non-linear curve going from the straight to the straight. This will be trimmed to make up the element for supporting the glass top.